Hello everyone, it's Jay, and today I have the dumbest kind of video idea that I literally thought of today. But before I get into it, I'm gonna show you the mug of the day, which is this just ordinary old mug with the flower on it, but it's nice. I'm having tea. It's tea season, so I actually have fruit tea and not the green tea with peach nor the Earl Grey, and I've actually started drinking other kinds of tea as the season gets colder, which you might guess from the beanie, although the reason for the beanie is probably because it's mostly because my hair looks kind of shit today. It's too long, the growth it's also too long, the color is faded, it's no longer like purple and beautiful, it sucks, and I need to do my hair as soon as I have money to get some bleach. And today's topic is, as you can probably tell from the title, reading strangers' advice on anxiety online. And I've had this idea because I've seen a post today about like anxiety, and I was reading through the comments, and the comments on those posts are usually like people giving the dumbest advice, and usually people who don't really struggle with it, so they don't really get it, but I guess they're trying to be nice, some of them. And I always do this to myself. I know I'm gonna get mad at the comments, and I go and read through them anyways. So I thought I would use this suffering for like fun video concept. So this video is basically based on this one post that I've seen today. If anyone is interested, you can DM me on Instagram and I can send you the original post that I've based this on. But the post was pretty innocent, and it went, imagine not having anxiety. That shit sounds peaceful as fuck. And I agree. I cannot properly imagine this because, you've been here before, I have anxiety. I talked about this in every other video, probably. I have specific video for it. And probably a lot more to come if I need to, because I've been filming my depression video recently, and then my depression kind of came back, so I didn't want to film about anything super happy today. But although I may seem kind of happy right now, I don't know. I just randomly got a burst of energy, which I guess is good, because hopefully this video is gonna be a bit faster paced, and it may not be like 40 minutes long for once. So yeah, that was just a post. Like, imagine not having anxiety 24/7. Like, I cannot imagine. And I'm like, same. And then I went through the comments, and I saw a bunch of almost like really funny kind of comments and debates. And the first debate in the comments went, I killed my anxiety this year and I'm in heaven. And the other person asked how, and a third completely different person said socialize. And the OG creator of the OG comment replied, no, medication, LMAO. And I thought that was very funny. So I thought I would always read kind of those comments and then, try to make those comments into their practical advice. So from this set of comments, the advice number 1 is socialize, and advice number 2, medication. In my opinion, how do you want to socialize when you have anxiety? Especially if you have social anxiety, or how does that help your inner health circle? How do you even get there if you're struggling with anxiety so much? But on the other hand, I kind of get it. Like, if I hang out with my friends, I usually feel very good while, spending time with people and actually socializing. It's just kind of funny in this context because it's the hard thing to do. And me saying I actually love socializing and hanging out with my friends. But realistically, how often do I socialize and hang out with my friends and shit? Like, not very much, is it? Not at all. And number 2, medication. Yes, that's what I do, and it's still not enough, but that's what I do, and is the only thing that kind of releases really relieves the symptoms a little bit. Yeah. So conversation number 2 in the comments was, first person randomly wrote, "Everyone has anxiety." And before I get deeper into this conversation, I wanna say a lot of people seem to not understand the difference between feeling anxious and having actual disorder, because everyone has anxiety. Yes, that statement could be kind of true, but going back to the OG post, the person wrote that they can't imagine one single moment without anxiety, which I would say implies that they also have a disorder, because it's not normal to be anxious 24/7. Apparently, I don't know, I can't really tell, can I? And so I just want to disclaim this, yes, feeling anxious is normal. It's pretty normal, healthy human feeling. It's unpleasant, but it's normal. But this person clearly doesn't understand the difference between that feeling and actually having a disorder. The first person said, "Everyone has anxiety." And then they wrote a great advice. "It's all about how well you deal with it." Which, is that really an advice? No, it's not really an advice. And since they're not even talking about the disorder, I I have nothing to take from you. I don't want to listen to this person, but yeah. And then there was other person randomly replying to this. "Meditation and journaling helps." So that could be an advice, right? And a third random person wrote, "Psychopaths don't feel anxious." And I don't know much about psychopaths. I don't know if that's really true, because there are also people who probably live through human feelings such as anxiety, so I don't know about that. But from this conversation, we got three more advice, so let's go with them. So, advice number 3, meditate and journal. I have tried. I journal all the time, and meditation didn't really stick with me the couple times I've tried it. But hey, I know this can help people, so I'm not gonna shit on that advice, because yeah, I think that's pretty legit. Advice number 4: be a psychopath. So if you don't like being anxious, just turn into a psychopath, because that's how it works. And advice number 5: just deal with it. Well, just deal with it, but in a good way. Which is so self-explanatory. I don't need you to add anything to that, right? Because yeah, okay, that's a great idea. I'm just gonna deal with it. So the next comment I found, I have to say this. Find Jesus, the Lord and Savior, and all will be okay. So that, in my head, translated to advice number 6, which is go to church and look for the guy nailed to a cross. And then I don't know what happens, but I don't know. I went to church for at least for first 15 years of my life, and that didn't help, did it? But each to their own, am I right? Another comment is, I'd be struggling, but it is what it is. And I don't think this was meant to be an advice, but I did put that into advice. So advice number 7 sounds, it is what it is. Or like my friend likes to say, it's what it's. Shout out to you if you're watching. You know who you are. Another comment I found was, people who don't consume caffeine or sugar are fine. So advice number 8 is avoid sugar and caffeine at all costs. And I also added, aka the only serotonin in your life, probably. So I don't want to shit on this advice either, but I am going to. It's just, first of all, it's usually the only 2 things that give me serotonin in my life, and nicotine, but yeah, very health. Yeah, we know they're not necessarily healthy, but I don't know, personally for me, they make me feel better. And I can't say I haven't tried. Like, because of my sick stomach, I had to be on diets where I couldn't eat much sugar at all. Where on a diets where I didn't drink coffee. So I've tried it. I've tried it, not really voluntarily, but I have had to try it because of my stomach illness. And I haven't had coffee for months, and all the difference I could tell was that I was craving coffee and I had less energy, probably. Yeah, just and that's all the difference. So I felt worse overall. And did it help my anxiety? No. Can it help yours? Maybe, but yeah. I'm not shitting on it completely, you know? It might help someone. It doesn't help me personally. Another comment was, it's comforting when you realize nobody is 100% free from being nervous or afraid. So advice number 9 is, if you feel like your life sucks, remember other people's lives suck too. I don't know if that's comforting to me. I just don't know if that's comforting to me. It's clearly comforting to this person who wrote it. But first of all, I don't know if like other people being unhappy makes me necessarily feel better. I don't think it does. So yeah, that's the part of advice that doesn't help. Also, the other part is like, when you realize nobody is 100% free from being nervous and like that shit, that kind of shit. And like, of course, but like, it doesn't make me feel better when I'm the one who is 100% nervous all of the time. So I don't know, this doesn't really help personally. And then I didn't really write down any more comments, but I wrote down other advice that I have read in the comment section, and that is, just don't care what happens. Just don't care about what happens. I'm do I need to explain that, like, that's what anxiety is, that you do worry? You can't just not. That's not how it works. So I'm totally shitting on this one because that's not even an advice, not even slightly. So yeah, other advice was gym, therapy, being sober, which could be legit. I just haven't had a good therapist yet. Yeah, I just think I'm a good therapist yet. But this person clearly did, so good for them. Gym, when I was personally working out, I was feeling a lot worse. But I do understand that some kind of like a gym might be good for some, but not for others. I personally love taking walks and not really going to the gym. Going to the gym would make me feel probably worse, especially like I would stress about the extra money that I have to pay for the gym, and I have to stress about other people in the gym and everything around it, and just going to a different place that is my home. So gym sounds very stressful to me, and the aspect that I would be afraid that I'll look dumb while working out and other people seeing me. So gym would personally make me way more anxious, but that might be just me. It might just be me. And being sober, I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty legit. I don't drink alcohol much these days, but yeah, long term, it definitely didn't make me feel good when I used to drink a little more, and I was never like extra drinking a lot. I mean, I'm from Czech Republic, so the beers are a little, we take it a little differently. What's a lot of drinking and what's not. But yes, definitely might be good for some. I think for me, it's also overall better when I'm sober. Or like when I don't drink often, which I don't, and I'm happy that way, just drinking a bit once in a while. Another advice is smoking. Someone just said, just smoke. I'm like, fair. But I'm not supporting this. This is unhealthy. But like, do whatever you want, you know? Advice number 13 is Lexapro. Which I've been there. I have taken that. And I must admit, that was really great for my anxiety. It helped so much. but it made me suicidal instead. So that wasn't all over like win-win, but it did help with the anxiety. And if you are lucky, you might actually get help with your anxiety without getting too suicidal. So yeah. So if you're ever thinking about the side effects of antidepressants, they're like, you might get depressed and suicidal from literally taking antidepressants. Yeah, it's real shit, and it can happen, and it did happen to me with Lexapro. So, but yeah, let's say your doctor's gonna know best. So another advice is just just get the hang of it over time. And I was like, well, that's not that's not really advice, is it? Just like again, it's like, just get over it. Just don't care what happens. Just get the hang of it. That's not really an advice by itself, although this person did present it as an advice, which I would appreciate, but specifically this one, I would not really consider an real advice. And also over time. What does it mean over time? Like, I think I'm pretty due to that time, because it's been over 2 decades now, and well, we did not really get much better, did we? If not worse. So I don't know what overtime means, but it seems like overtime might be way too long. Taking way too long for me. So yeah, another advice is hemp oil. And I heard, hey, look, cannabis is surely great. It's got some health benefits. I actually did try hemp oil in like capsules, and I must admit it did help a bit with my insomnia, on top of antidepressants though. So it did help a little bit, but by itself it definitely didn't help with anxiety, the insomnia, probably the anything. But as an extra little bit on top of everything else, it helped a little bit. So I'm gonna give this some points, okay? You get 6 out of 10 points. I'll give you that. And again, everyone's different, and it might work differently for every person. And the last advice that I got here is Xanax, which I've actually never taken. It's one of the antidepressants that I've never actually tried in my life, and that's because I don't get to choose what antidepressants I would take. I don't know if that's how other countries work. You just go there and like, please give me the Xanny. Because that's not how it works here, and your psychiatrist decides what what antidepressants you're gonna take. So yeah. So let's sum this up. The list of advice. Number 1, socialize. Number 2, medication. Number 3, meditate and journal. Number 4, number 4, be a psychopath. Number 5, just deal with it, but well. Number 6, go to church and find a guy nailed to a cross. Number 7, it is what it is. Number 8, avoid sugar and caffeine, even though it's your only serotonin income. Number 9, life sucks, but other people's lives suck too. Amazing. Number 10, just don't care what happens next. Number 11, go to gym, therapy, and stay sober. Number 12, smoke. They didn't specify what to smoke though, I just realized. So take that as you will, Number 13, Lexapro. Number 14, just get the hang of it over time. Number 15, hemp oil. And number 16, Xanax. There you go, your anxiety is cured. I know mine definitely is, after reading those amazing advice in the comments. And also, I'm really not trying to shit on other people's, like, advice and shit, but first of all, just people don't really get the difference, do they? Unless they do have actual anxiety disorder. It feels like the people don't really know the difference, and that indeed is very different. Feeling anxious from time to time, and being like that all of the time, and like on different kind of level. And and then I hate those people who probably don't even have the disorder by themselves, and be shitting on people with the disorder and saying they can handle their anxiety, so why do other people not? and that really sucks. And also, like, my experience is so bad. Look, anxiety disorder is very common, right? It's one of the most common mental disorders. So I do know a lot of people who are diagnosed with the disorder, and still in my life who have like looked down upon me because I don't handle my anxiety as well. Even though my anxiety is just probably worse. That's what it is. But I was like kind of, you know, I was kind of, how do I say this? I was feeling humiliated by other people with anxiety telling me that I'm shit because I don't handle my anxiety as well as they do. Also, most people I know have like, and I know some people don't really like the labels like high and low functioning, but I'm gonna say it just because I'm talking about myself, you know. A lot of people have high functioning anxiety, which I don't. I am very low functioning, and it's not me like shitting on myself right now. It's just how it is. And it's really sad that we still have this lack of understanding of what this disorder is, and it feels ridiculous because, like, for fuck's sake, it's 2022, and people still don't get such a common disorder as anxiety disorder, and that's really fucking sad. That's what I wanted to say. My first initial thought about this video and how I'm gonna end it up is like, look for legit advice. But then I realized that it was really hard to find legit advice, and I couldn't even properly think of what helps me. So if you're interested, I might make such a video in the future, but I would have to actually do like research and try out more shit and look really into my life and what I do. Although I'm not sure if I'm the best person to give you any advice on that, because I'm not handling very well. So I'm not sure yet. Also, I just thought I could do more mental health videos, because you know what? I feel like shite all the time because of my mental disorders. So I thought, yeah, I think it's pretty fair to go on YouTube and complain. And so, yeah. And the next video I thought is very complaining, and it's what I already mentioned in my depression video. I think that I need to make a whole video about how doctors, especially in this field, like mistreated me. So that would be probably a longer video. So tell me if you're up for it, and if you're not, I'm probably gonna film it anyway at some point. But yeah, I that's fine. So thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and till the next time. Bye.